correlation with how loud ardiis is. We're going into Ascent, so this is going to be G2's pick.
They love it.
They do indeed. They were one of the first teams to pull out a Phoenix on it in recent memory and then immediately leave it. It was one map they played versus Need More DM. They 13-5'd and they just weren't happy with it. So they got a 13-4 versus Party Pirates without the Phoenix right afterwards.
They were like, we could have done better if we didn't have the Phoenix.
It's not a 13-0. How could you be happy?
Now, they do love Ascent. It is their go-to pick. It's where they find the most comfort on. But they've had some really close games on it, Mitch. Some games which actually could have gone either way.
So 93% win rate for G2, and they've played it 15 times. Their only loss was Fun plus Phoenix. But to echo what you're saying, Banks, 13-11, they beat NIP. That was with a 10-2 start. 10-2, and their attacking side just got nothing done. It almost went to an overtime. Vodafone Giants was another game I felt like could have been much closer because G2 got off to a flying start on the attacking side that time, but then their defense wasn't so hot that day either. And again, if just a little bit more had been done over in that cup, we could have seen them falling. I do think, though, this is definitely the strongest map, not just because of the win rate, but I just love how typically G2 will be coming up against a team that doesn't like it all that much because most teams aren't, and most players aren't a massive fan of Ascent at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's my favorite map, and I kind of got it forced on me. I was a big Haven man, and then I queued it 9 times in a row and went, well, I guess I'm going to enjoy this map. And I actually had a lot of success on mid.
Now, obviously, we got the call from production. Could have pretended we didn't, but we're not those kind of guys. That this is G2's pick. But the reality is, you could have guessed that if you look back. You might think, well, Mitch, we saw in the first game of the tournament, NIP were taken down by Vodafone Giants. It was 14-12. Yeah, but we also saw a 13-0 yesterday versus Fun plus Phoenix. So at that point, you know, I'm not feeling like you get 13-0 and go, hey, do you want to pick that map again versus the same level of team? Let's do it.
And thing for G2, right, if I'm correct off memory, you've got the stats in front of you. Their attacking side is not the best. It's the defense side that's where they have most success. Yeah.
It's their defense that they absolutely lock out. And we saw that in the NIP game, as I said, where they got 10 rounds on the defense side and won the game 13-11. That means that they won 3 on the attack out of a full 12 played, which is ridiculous. And because they picked this map, of course, Vodafone Giants get to start on whatever side they want. They've chosen defense, and that is because they obviously want to make G2 as uncomfortable as possible. And versus this lineup, I mean, that is going to be pretty hard. We mentioned that Vodafone Giants have got a lot going for them, but the win conditions are jonba showing up, Fatino giving us a massive performance when it comes to Jett, and I want to see Yurii on that Sage dominate in a lot of these duels. If the 3 of those players are here, they've got a chance.
So we saw the Sage wall up already outside of B there. mixoz just having a good poke around it. Also saw Fatino at the beginning of the round. He used his updraft, wanted to try and have a look in, and oh, sneaky Davidp. If he gets away with this, he can just side. Oh no, this is chaotic. He's just gonna be up. Yep, 1 finds the second as well. That's just so easy. Puts the slowdown. This is huge. Oh, Davidp, what an entry! What a boss! Perfect timing, plays it sneaky, plays it smart. G2 wolfs their way into the site and they make it look easy. Davidp is on one today. He's kicking things off in style.
Yeah, you saw his tweet out where he was saying he felt like he was on form, and now obviously life's gotten in the way, but right now it doesn't look that way. The flank up behind to finish it off, and in fact, paTiTek was even so surprised to see Davidp. He shot at him.
Why are you here?
So that's a 4K for Davidp in the pistol round, and what a way to start it off for a man that's been trying to find his groove over the last couple of days. I think it's fair to say he's found
the timing, he was just so patient with this one, mate. That's what I love. Because if he'd taken a kill first, then the Sage may have reacted very differently. Then he forces the Sage into a corner, and you know it's game over from there. Yurii was being pressured from both sides.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot I could really expect from Yurii in that. It's really, once you get into that position, once you give that much of an opening, you've pretty much already given it away. This paTiTek paranoia at the start of the round is actually quite important in a lot of these if they are going to go towards the B site, because it pushes the players, okay, maybe not back to exactly where he is right now, but typically it's going to push an operator off that corner if that's what you want.
Oh, pyth, be careful. Throws the cage down, puts a second one as well. Needs some. Oh, this is brilliant from him, though. I was surprised he was going to get that second kill. The pressure's still on him, but he's managed to deal with it well. In the meantime, mixoz still getting kills up on the board, and there's only 2 players left. And the Vodafone Giants, oh no, you've got to check that corner. Come on, jonba. Oh my, all headshots for pyth. A 4K for him. And is this just we're sharing 4 kills each round? Still got the spike down as well on the B site.
realistically, that was just insane usage of the Cypher cages by pyth. Expert play. He uses each one to give himself a little bit more cover. The second goes down just as a backup plan.
I'm laughing, right, because if someone had just not played Valorant or just not been involved in this and just watching, they'd think that there's almost like a shield because he didn't even really take much damage.
True.
It's like he's just throwing shields down in front of him. All it does is just obstruct the vision, but it makes their job a lot harder to take him down.
Yeah, of course. The whole power of the pistols in that situation is that you can just run at him and destroy him with numbers. But when you isolate them like that, for example, the first cage, it got him a 1v1. Second player comes around, that's a 1v1. He's dead before the third peaks. And so, like, if he didn't have those, they just run at him and they kill him.
Oh, they're avoiding the drone here. They're making a push on their own. paTiTek's going to get a read on it. I think he threw that smoke down too low as well, actually. Oh, this is a full, just aggressive push in. donQ, this is not ideal for him. He's trying to work his way around. They're completely pinned down. paTiTek, though, he's putting in work. We spoke about how dominant this man has been for his team, and he is delivering 3 kills for him. And if it wasn't for that, G2 would have just bum rushed the site and had it in their grasp.
Yeah, fantastic work by paTiTek. We wanted to see him deliver early on, and now he's even got his ultimate to play around. We know how much damage he can do with it, and this is a very important round.
Look at this from the position he's in. He's up high, yeah? And he's just on top of the rafters, waits it out, gets the first one, they push into him, easy second one, and goes all the... That's so smart, the way he uses the dash. I'm loving that. And that's why paTiTek is currently ranked higher on the stats than Mr. Mixwell.
Yep. This is also a game in which if Mixwell doesn't perform like we saw yesterday, we'll see him fall behind probably jonba as well and end up as the 3rd best Spanish player in the tournament according to the stats.
Can't often say that, can you?
No, not at all.
Normally Mixwell's the only Spanish player, let's be honest.
yeah, he generally is. I was just crying right now.
It's nice from jonba to start off with, though. The shock dart was on point. Slowed down a bit from G2 after the beginning aggression. What they do, you see, they push out, they take a bunch of map control, they make sure mid's secure for themselves. They don't want to allow that to go in favor of the Vodafone Giants there. They want to ensure they can hold on to what they've got. And now they can start to work into the sites a bit. Oh no, paTiTek goes down at the hands of ardiis. The push comes in, and now this time they don't have the sole defender. donQ's going to do his best. Spike's being planted.
Spike planted.
They close that door as well when they want. If they want, that's the key thing. The rafters is completely just a no-go zone, right? eXerZ, how do you look into this? You have 0 information. pyth's playing this perfectly. Look at the camera position.
He's got all that info to play around. Just fires the dart out. Let them know that he's watching.
I am here. I've got my eyes on you.
The fight from below works out for him, but he overextends a little bit and gets dashed through the wall after they'd spotted him. donQ with another to Mixwell. This is getting a little bit dangerous, to be honest. Davidp going to have to be the savior of the round. A 1v1, the spike planted, but the time is so low! He gets the shot! No, there's no time. No time, just about, but that peek from Davidp was wild when they hadn't even tapped it.
I think the reason he peeked was just because he knew the time was gone already. So he wouldn't have, no matter what, right, the spike defuse wouldn't have happened. But it was a way of like, I'm just going to take you down. I'm going to try and claim this round either way.
Yeah, probably thought he was going to run away at that point and he'd catch him fleeing.
But you just look, why that took so long for Giants is because they were being held back for so long. They could not push on that rafters area. So this was really just good play from G2 and how they utilized their abilities and how they got in.
And good play from G2 is never really a surprising statement, is it? We expect to say that a lot as we move throughout this game. And the reality is, again, and I give Vodafone Giants this every single time, they're a team that I don't expect to take a map off G2. They're a team that I think there's...
Harsh.
G2 Liquid FPX, I don't expect them to take a map off. And yet they've come into this tournament and they've managed to do a phenomenal work.
Oh,
that is dirty by Mixwell.
You naughty boy.
So dirty. We've seen that so many times, right, where he's trying these different angles the players aren't expecting, and finally he gets the reward for it.
Mixwell's like, paTiTek, I'ma show you what my Jett's all about. You gonna learn today.
paTiTek's got it from behind there. Davidp's taken out. The 3v3. Okay. ardiis has managed to find that trade. Now he's been a real thorn in the side. He's swinging. I don't like that. The players up above in heaven could then just 2v1 him, right?
Yeah,
and you're giving up that paranoia that they've got where they're thinking, we can push, but he might flank us immediately.
Ardiis is now like, okay, there's a lot of footsteps coming. Oh, they're going one by one, though. They're giving him opportunity. Ardiis, that's what you want to see. Nicely done. 4-1 and G2 large and in charge so far. The Giants have tried to come back at this. It's just, look at beauty. Davidp gives him the wall. Boom.
So nasty.
And he has to do it the updraft twice. Look.
So nasty by them. I want to see, because Ardiis in the end there, he had the opportunity to take the operator and he decided against it. So I'd like to see, no, they don't have any operators. And this makes sense on a map like Ascent. I think if you're playing Haven, but pretty if you're playing any of the other maps, you're realistically, maybe Split, I suppose. But a lot of the time you'll take an operator.
Yeah.
On Ascent, it doesn't feel like you have nearly as many opportunities on the attacking side to come in with that scope rifle.
eXerZ is like, great, I went through one to another, I still can't see much, and I'm going to die either way. Oh, this is a good ult, though. Really nice from jonba. Manages to get 2 off the back of it. You don't see that too often with the Hunter's Fury. And donQ, he's delivering with the Sheriff. Davidp in with the revive. G2 know they want to get this. Oh, so much damage to Davidp, though.
Exactly
Those Sheriffs are putting in work. Headshots galore. And they need to be so careful. There's just so much coming out towards them. Those shock darts, how did they not kill pyth then? He's lucky to be alive.
Now, luckily as well, Davidp had his heal up, so he's able to pop himself. He was like 10 HP. It just about heals in time. The scans that are coming through don't really cause that much havoc for pyth. He's not able to get the dart out in time, unfortunately. And had he have, you notice Davidp fell back. I think they were going to go for the wallbang.
And you can be spammed, though, from where they are so easily. So all that information that was being given over, you've also got to be so scared at any point. You can just be sprayed down. Oh, and there we go. That's what you got to be careful of. paTiTek ends it onto pyth. There was a lot invested into that from both sides, but that's a big win off the back of just pistols. And I got to say, those Sheriffs were on point there for Giants.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's time to play a full Vandal lineup at that point, because they were just tapping.
Yeah, the aim, why not? This ult, though, how many times do we see it where they do some huge damage, maybe get 1 kill or no kills, but they tag up a few? Not often do we get to see 2 kills with it. Not in a pro game.
You know, I think at this point, jonba is definitely my favorite Sova to watch.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, obviously I wouldn't put him above ardiis as a player, but when it comes down to in how he uses Sova in particular, how he uses those abilities, I just love watching it. He does so much damage.
He's definitely been doing that theory crafting, right? Sitting on the maps on his own for a while, seeing what he can do, seeing what he can line up, getting himself ready.
Because you saw there, right? He had himself the ultimate where you got the double kill, but then the shock darts as well. They let down pyth, they let down Davidp, they popped the heal, which couldn't be used, and then allowed for Davidp to be finished off through the wall.
They got that revive up, right? And then it was just like, doesn't matter. I know where you're sat around. Eat my shock darts. No longer eat my shorts. All about the shock darts. Are you too young to eat my shorts?
No, I watched The Simpsons.
Good. Thank you. Oh, aggressive from paTiTek. He's not going to check it, though. Come on, the basic stuff. paTiTek, you could have come in there nicely. Still game on. Mixwell playing around the shadow wall. This is actually a really nice spot for him. Oh, no! That's not what they want to see. Mixwell, Vandal in hand, puts the smoke down, and he still gets away with it. Looks for the last. Yurii is able to put an end to it. The revive's going to come in, but it is still going to be a 2 versus 2. Davidp pops up, and I don't like it when you do this, especially around rafters. Spike on the floor. It's not ticking down too fast just yet. Davidp has managed to escape out of there for now. 10 or 15 seconds even. My eyesight is terrible. On that revive. Oh, he's now going to have the information. Yurii pops into it, and he goes down. Now the Cypher to find. Oh! Footwork. Gets the reload in, but this is his time to shine. Tries to bait him off it. Takes the shots. He doesn't quite know, and Davidp, he swings onto the bottom, but it's not going to work out. It's going to blow up. He's done it for time again, and he's played it oh so smart. Still, eXerZ will walk away with a weapon, but it's not around. And now we're at 5-2. G2 had a massive lead at one point, right? It just seemed like they were going to overrun it. But we are seeing more life out of Giants now.
I think from Davidp at that point, you saw that, okay, he overextended. He took the Rafters peak, and that was unnecessary. Did get some info from it, but it definitely wasn't worth potentially his life. From there, though, I think he woke up. He realized that, okay, I made a little bit of a mistake there. Didn't need to do that. Let's play it tight. Let's play it passive. And he got 1 kill, bailed out, ran the clock all the way down. Expert play start to finish. And 5-2 for G2, well earned, well deserved. And Vodafone Giants on the defensive side, we mentioned that this is where they can do the most damage. Very aggressive play by Mixwell. He's not managed to get the kill though.
No, that was so close, John, but you overcommitted to this though. There's a lot more G2 players waiting in the wings. They're boosted up and they take down Yurii as well. Davidp on the heels. donQ, he needs to push around this fast. He needs to make it happen. He's going to be spotted out though by the drone, and Mixwell just slaps him one. G2 relentless with their aggression, but Mixwell, you might make it. Yeah, that's not the smart play. Sometimes you just go too far with it all.
You get a little bit too overconfident, Banks. Just keep diving in for the plays. For Vodafone Giants, look, you get that kill, you take down Mixwell, great, but it's a 2v4. And the rest of the team, unfortunately, are not quite throwing themselves at the Giants' feet in the same way. Not looking to get crushed. So this
what it is right now for Giants, right? They may have Giants in their name, but you know Jack and the Beanstalk? G2 are the Giants at the top of that right now. They're trying to climb up that Beanstalk ever so slowly. They've got a couple of rounds, but it's still a tough task to handle. They can't live up to the name just yet. Pistol round, though, again for Giants, and we saw what happened last time around. They don't have... Okay, actually, they could Cypher and Omen ult. Maybe if you use the Omen ult in a conventional way of, like, you try pop behind them into their spawn, potentially while all the madness is going on with the pistols, but still, like, can you repeat the success of that round? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I reckon this is pretty much a foregone conclusion. G2 would have to play super sloppy, super messy. They are spread out quite a bit. Remember, you can see your opponent's economy, so they know they're up against pistols, and I think paTiTek's definitely giving that one away when he dies. Now it's just about tightening up the play, moving together. They haven't spotted the close left corner. They need to check this. They're being baited out. This could be an absolutely huge play. donQ is in the back, but not able to take down paTiTek. He leaves him with one hit left.
Mixwell! Oh no, these pistol shots, you can just hear the sheriffs popping off, but they're not landing all the kills. It gets crazy, it gets chaotic. For G2, they're coming out on top for now. Spike going to be put on the ground. It's all on Mr. jonba. We've seen creativity from this man over and over again. But is that creativity enough to try and net him another round here for his team in a very difficult position? He does have armor to play with. At best, he might just be looking for a weapon, but he's very outmatched and outgunned at this point. The numbers are against him. They know exactly where he is. It'll take a long time for him to go down. They do eventually finish him off. 7-2, though, no problem at all for the G2 side.
donQ, really the one that could have and should have gotten so much more done at that point. He did exactly what we talked about, Banks, earlier on. When you've got the Sheriff, you see a couple different players, you fire the first shot for the headshot, and then you just keep on tapping as fast as you can and hope RNG is on your side. It clearly wasn't. And that was a big mistake. I think if he just slowed it down a little bit on that second player, grabbed the headshot, flicked to third, he could have gotten so much more done. At least delivering paTiTek as well.
Revealing area.
But 7-2 we go. G2 realistically should have won that round cleanly, and they didn't, which I guess is a positive, even if Vodafone Giants could have gotten more done.
Standard boost coming up again for Davidp to get some extra vision, but no one's going to fall for it just yet. No one's going to allow themselves to be seen. eXerZ starting off though. This is good, but it's instantly traded back. Not what they want to see here. Spike going to be put down. Now, how do they approach this retake? Mixwell this time, he's not going to get aggressive. He's going to hold back. That's the smarter decision. For Tino, patiently waiting, scoped in, going to throw the smoke down. Wants to ensure that no one can see him just yet. Oh, that's going to tell him a lot. Timing. Oh, nearly Mixwell with the second, but jonba is able to shut him down. But this is looking very bad for G2. It's all on paTiTek. He came up huge yesterday and again on this map. Can he line him up today? Starts off with the first. The shock dart comes out towards him. He's taken some damage. He didn't know which side to check. Yurii comes in with a kill, and Giants come in with a round.
That's a shame. It came so close for G2 Esports, but I guess it is better that Giants managed to take this. We could be looking at a competitive series, and yes, the scoreline is still tilted massively in favor of G2 before they go on to their favorite side, but the amount of rounds that Vodafone Giants have been close in, I think is far more than it really should have been. At the moment, they're definitely showing they've got that individual skill, they've got the capability to do damage against a team like G2. I believe in our predictions, Banks, correct me if I'm wrong here, it was unanimously G2 as well, wasn't it?
I can't remember on everyone else's. I know I went for G2.
Yeah, I know.
I've been doing this right, where I don't look at anyone else's because I don't really care at this point. I'm so far ahead of you, and that's all that matters.
Hey, everybody else went for G2.
paTiTek, though, outdoes Mixwell, operator in hand. The speedy Jets. paTiTek teleporting his way across.
You will not kill my allies.
It's the res.
Okay, that's going to bring it back in.
He's back up and ready to go. Has his ult to play with. That could bridge the gap a little bit.
Oh, they're going to do it again, of course. He spots out one on the right-hand side. His spot was revealed, though. He's got the information. I'm wondering if he did see it, though. They start to push in. donQ sprays the first one down, looking for more. They've started to run into the site, but he's delivering the headshots galore. Here we go for it. Some more action to be had. pyth finally takes him out, but it's jonba with the spray down, with the lineup to secure a 4th round here for the defensive side of Giants. Last round of the half. G2, they will desperately want to try and claim that for themselves because they have allowed Giants a bit of wiggle room now to come back into this one. And remember, for everyone watching, it is G2's pick. This is Ascent. This is the map they love. But actually, their defensive side is normally the better side when it comes to it. That's scary of your Giants.
Yes, most definitely. Even the rounds they've given to them at the moment are enough. The possibility for 8 is there. And when we look over towards how they played versus NIP, it was a 10-2 defensive side. G2 destroyed them.
Nowhere to run.
And I don't
Here
see
we go.
Giants being a million times better.
Where's the Hunter's Fury? Oh, here we go. Oh, jonba again. Love a bit of Hunter's Fury. Power play coming in. And paTiTek, he's hitting those shots once again with the operator. Misses that one, though. So Davidp is able to escape for now, but he just escapes for a few seconds. That was a really solid round. Last round secures 5 for Giants. But it's game on now. What can they deliver on their attacking side? They need to start off strong here, Mitch.
They definitely do. If you lose the pistol in this one, G2 just get launched right back into a pretty substantial lead. It is time to show up if you're Vodafone Giants. Looking at the kills, they were so evenly distributed between a lot of these players.
Yeah. Full teamwork. That's what you love to see.
Here.
Makes
No
the
one
dream
needing
work.
to carry bag their way through.
And jonba was a little bit slow to start. I was getting worried, but then he comes through with... Obviously, he had some decent damage before, but that after the double kill from the Hunter's Fury, there wasn't a lot afterwards. Now, in the last, 3 rounds, he was a massive player. I mean, he single-handedly won them when donQ was able to find the double. He was the one that swung out on Heaven, traded him, and then ended it with the double kill. If that didn't happen, round spirals out of control. If he's just stuck Heaven, if he's too scared to peek it. But even though he wasn't having the best of games, he was confident to go in for the fights. We said it. Vodafone Giants have the individuals. They have the promise to potentially take a map against G2.
Vision is taken away. They start to push in. The teleport going straight in, hopefully to the back of the site if he can get there. pyth, though, he's going to get the opening kill. G2 trying to hold on to this site, but they're going to play the retake. They love these kind of modes. They're like, all right, cool. You get in. We've still got the numbers advantage. We're just going to out-frag you when it comes to it.
Shots from pyth not landing. Luckily, they've all been healed up at this point. You saw very low HP, I think, on pyth at the start. Look at that. Double kill through the smoke as they swing on in. And Vodafone Giants winning every single duel. Mixwell trying to get it done, and he's got lots of kills under his belt. But now, not enough. Yurii was spotted. They didn't know about paTiTek, who just quickly dealt with Davidp from the side to put it 6-7. And Vodafone Giants, they've won the round they needed to. Equalizing shouldn't be difficult for them now.
It's game on now, Mitch, that's for sure. They could be evening up 7-7. That was real nice from Mixwell, but
Blocking sight. Enemy kill.
after this, yep, he expected a player to be there, couldn't react in time. Good crossfire setup overall there at the end, and Giants, they're going to keep this rolling. That's now 4 rounds in a row.
Surely this one will go under their belt as well, as we're saying. You know, there's not a lot to work with for G2. Definitely a hefty advantage for Vodafone Giants. paTiTek only playing this one with the Ghost, obviously wanting to get himself out an operator very early on. Even on the attacking side, they see it as a viability. which obviously G2 didn't for the most part.
We're seeing multiple different changes in how this operator is being used. Oh, ardiis.
You saw jonba actually miss both his shock darts. Well, at least the first one bounced and went back over the wall. But then he was like, oh, I've made a mistake. I guess I'll just shoot him in the head instead.
I guess he's there. I'll just spam the wall instead. But Mixo will walk away with the kill. Throws down the smoke, but can't grab the weapon. It's too far away. He's like, oh, where is it? Come on, please. Oh, he does a bit. But he can't get the kill. The Jett manages to get away, and Mixo gets finished off by donQ. Good aggression coming out from G2, but it's just not enough to manage to help them pick up a round, even pick up the weapons. That's the biggest problem you saw what was trying to happen there. Oh, Yurii, that's really nice. Good use of the wall at the end just to ensure that pyth does go down.
7-7. It's really what we needed.
Yeah.
Vodafone Giants lost. Like, if they lost the pistol round, it would just be so hard to come back into it.
Davidp's picked up that judge as well.
It's what he was known for. It's a signature play throughout the entirety of his career on Counter-Strike. He was the auto shotgun specialist. Now he's got the drum mag ready to roll on that judge. And it's very viable. So I talked about this setup a couple times when we had Ascent in the past, although we rarely saw it with how teams have been mixing it up, bringing in the likes of a Phoenix. Over towards the B site, you've got a Sage. Early on, you throw a slow through and your Sova shock darts. It stops anybody that's there from running away as they see the shock dart come through, and it's pretty much guaranteed damage if they're there. What isn't guaranteed damage is swinging long range into a Phantom when you've got a judge.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work out this time. Probably tried to get himself put away in the corner, right?
Yeah, of course. You got to cross over, get a little bit of info. And I guess I presume they put the slowdown early on and he just shift walked through it. So they thought, well, we put a shock dart, we put a slow. No one's there at this point, I guess. And then keeps holding the angle. Ready and waiting.
So now with a man disadvantage. Giants still taking their time in this, though. Just under a minute on the clock, though. So no pressure just yet. Drone goes in. They'll be able to hear it. Good idea of what's going on. The smoke's put down. The push starts to happen. Oh, nicely done by pyth, but he's only good for one. paTiTek's there as well. Timing comes into play. They're swinging out, though, through smokes, and I'm never a fan of seeing the pushes come through at that. It is just the Omen on his own, but he's up against ardiis, who's actually got himself towards the site. Aha! The ult being used straight into the B site.
You can see that already. Picks up the spike, starts going towards the spawn. You're like, he's just buying a little bit of time to make sure that rotate comes all the way in. Then he can just chill out. So this is a pretty hard one, though. He has no info on where this player is coming from, although he will now. That shock dart, or that recon's actually going to give it away. He's now ready to just swing in and take that frag. Really well played by donQ. That's what we've been wanting to see from him for so long.
Since the first day, you said, right, it was time for him to step it up once again. And, well, this is the game to do it in. And you saw how paranoid ardiis was, and I'm not just talking about the ability. He was paranoid because you know what he's trying to figure out? Did he actually just go to the B site at first? He has to delay that decision in case he just decided to go somewhere around him, somewhere close to try and take the fight instead. But now we see Giants take the lead, Mitch. And G2's buy is not strong here. The ult's up for Mixwell, though. Can they play off that? Can they make something happen?
Get out of my way.
Well, you hear it popped. You know that it's going to be coming through. At this point, if I'm Vodafone Giants, I'm going to be a little bit cautious of a push coming from Mixwell. You know, he's going to look for some aggression. It's mid-control that they seize. Not often taken as aggressively as they currently have it by the defensive side, especially not from G2. You'll typically see them auto-aggression towards one of these other angles. David able to get down. The boost has come up and he's got that info communicated over. This is where I thought Mixwell would start to push all the way down middle, but he's decided to just rotate in and support the B site. I can respect that play as well. I think it makes a lot of sense. But he would have caught them on the rotate had he went mid.
paTiTek needs to try and at least get one here. They're playing through the Omen smoke. eXerZ knows he doesn't want to push into it just yet. At least that's a smart decision here. You don't want to give that to the pistol. They know where his spot is. The paranoia goes out. He's going to try and fade away. And actually, pyth's come to back him up. The teleport works out. Sneaky does it. Oh, and they get spotted. The Cypher camera put to good use. I'm really liking this so far from G2 because they're just helping him run the clock down. And Giants need to make a move. Mixo with the knives. He grabs himself a weapon, but he used all the knives and didn't get the kill. That's a problem. That's a huge problem because they really do need this extra. Oh, this is so huge from Davidp. He was trying to bide some time. Now they are on the B site. The spike will get planted. The clock was ticking away, but this is a push from G2 that could work out until we see jonba do that.
He was just tucked away in B main, swung at the exact right time when they started to push forward. Completely wrecks the G2 lineup, and the lead is now firmly secured for Vodafone Giants. They are at 9-7.
Did anyone go with a tie for this one potentially?
No, everybody picked that G2 would win this.
See, Giants, they wanted it, man.
This is the thing about Giants. As we came in, I said obviously that I didn't expect them. This is a team I don't expect to take a map off G2, off FPX, off Liquid, and yet they 1-1'd Ninjas. They 1-1 Fun plus Phoenix.
Yeah, that was the wild one.
That's insane. The Ninjas and Pajamas one, we looked at like, oh, well, MIP really messed up there. But then, like,
I told you.
You see them versus Liquid, you see them versus FPX, and you're like, damn, these guys are actually pretty damn good.
I should just go clip that whole beginning segment of when we had Giants versus NIP, because it just said, like, we can't know what's going to be going on here.
Of course.
Sova coming out. They try to avoid the damage, at least for now. It's not going to work out this time. jonba unable to get it done. Oh, Mixwell. You needed to hit that. Luckily, pyth was able to help you out. Misses the toes of the next player, and he keeps missing again, Mixwell. He's just not finding success with the operator. Site is under control. Spike going down. Giants looking for some more. This is still doable for G2, but how confident are they that they can get this done? Position's going to be known. Good position for the slow as well. donQ. Oh, the timing doesn't work out for him. He turns away as paTiTek swings. But jonba, it's all on you, baby, to get this done. And starts off strong. They now know exactly where he is, but it's a 1v1. Recon bolt destroyed. He's tucked away in the corner, just round the side, and that's a headshot. jonba is having a great game, and he drops the teabag as well.
Unbelievable. jonba, I said, is my favorite Sova to watch, and you're seeing why. As an individual, he is insane, but then when it comes down to the amount of work that this guy has put in, and that's what I love about these guys. They come in as ex-professional CS players, and they're sitting down and going, okay, how do we play this game? And they're looking at it from a, like, they're coming in, they're going, lineups. Let's learn all the lineups. And immediately, jonba has not just lineups, but 2 lineups plus timing for how to shock dart the same location. He's got fantastic recons, which I think are just the most basic thing for a Sova to have. You don't have that, play someone else. And then obviously his ultimate and his decision-making on when to use it is also next level. paTiTek, that's so good. He's there way quicker than they expect him to be. Landed perfectly inside the smoke as well, so we knew exactly how far to throw that.
paTiTek. That was just looking too easy for you. You pushed in, you had the confidence. It was a G2 stack on the B side, and it didn't even matter.
I feel so bad for anybody, because I feel like Vodafone Giants, as well as Scrimming, if they've ever, like, queued up, like if you queue up against Mixwell, ardiis and stuff, you're going to go, oh, we're against G2, we're going to get wrecked. But if you queue up against these guys, a decent chance, considering they didn't even play like official games until very recently, that you'd just be, and especially they're not on everyone's radar as the top level team. You'd queue in, you'd be like, oh, it's just some Spanish dudes, don't worry about it. And then you just get like 13-0, dudes shock darting you 17 times on the one spot at the same time. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Well, I wouldn't say just some Spanish dudes, right? They were picked up by Vodafone Giants for a
reason.
Of course. It's not a joke.
What I am saying, though, is that they haven't been within, so Counter-Strike is where they come from. They haven't been active there for... That's so unfortunate. It's between 2 and 3 years, depending on which player you're looking at, is when they retired. So it's a long time since they've been present in Counter-Strike. And if you're just an average Valorant fan, up until this tournament, I'd say you probably don't know who they are.
This is just such an easy entry for them.
Not shabby. Not too shabby at all. And
2 rounds
11-7.
away. 2 rounds away.
Genuine possibility for Vodafone Giants to take a map off G2. This is madness.
There we go. That's what we're starting to see from G2, and that's what we needed to see. That aggression back. And ardiis has not been having a good game so far. Can this spur him on to make it happen?
They're getting aggressive. Their recon was destroyed, I'm pretty sure. As jonba just... No, he wasn't spotted. That's a big mistake again, not clearing the corners. He's able to get one, but now he's inside his drone. And so ardiis is good to trade him back and put it into a hefty advantage for G2 with a 4 versus 2.
Now Mixwell's got the information there. Yuri's revived jonba, but Yurii goes straight down, and Mixwell, that's more like it. At the moment, I'm really thinking, just put ardiis on the operator and give Mixwell the Phantom now. We've seen it more and more throughout this tournament that Mixwell misses some shots that he used to just rail and nail with it. Change up roles, mix it up a bit. You've got skilled players that can do it.
I think for Mixwell, the other side of the coin when he's on the defensive side, the other influence, I guess, on him not playing the operator is that he's playing middle, which is so frequently smoked if they are going towards it. They've got an Omen, so they've got plenty of smokes throughout the round. Obviously a Jett as well, which can get you just the quick movement. And so it's very difficult for him. Like, look, right now, he smoked out at the very beginning of the round. He can't do anything if he's got an operator. Whereas ardiis gets an angle where usually he's now playing A halls. He was over towards B as well, where he can actually do a lot.
jonba again, though, getting another ulti off.
Mixwell's pushed mid. Look, he's just about to come behind them. If they don't check this, it looks like they are. Battle of the Jets. Maybe not. They go all the way around. He's hearing the steps.
Just tells everyone to rotate. Yeah.
That's it. Everybody's going to be on B by the time Vodafone Giants get there. But now they're spotted. They know that info's been given away. So they should really slow down that B play.
ardiis is there, though. He'll get himself a 1. Something they can play off. Davidp's got his wall up, and he just starts strong. Just back away now. This is looking really good for G2. And this is the thing, right? It doesn't matter how far G2 are down, they can start to make these comebacks, and this is what you have to be scared about. But Yurii, quick reactions, quick on the trigger finger, and that's what you want to see. Davidp now has to hold his own, and he certainly is for now. One more to find. He's dancing around the boxes, Sage versus Sage, and he's trying to spray, but he can't connect the dots. Those shots were not going to hit. And even though all that pressure was applied, Giants are 1 round away from taking the map pick of G2 here and throwing another curveball G2's way. Giants want to get into this playoff position, Mitch.
This is insanity. G2 need this as well. I mean, at this stage, they're fairly low down in the rankings. I mean, they're number 3 at the moment with 2 wins under their belt. The Vodafone Giants haven't hit a win, but they could beat, obviously, G2 at this point. If they beat G2 and then they beat BBL, provided G2 don't lose or don't win their other game, which is versus Team Liquid, there's a genuine chance G2 don't make playoffs.
Jesus.
If they lose this and they lose to Liquid, they don't make playoffs, provided Vodafone Giants beat BBL. Which, from what we're seeing, I would guess that would happen.
Yeah, it's definitely.
The fact that we're in a position where it's possible on day 4 that G2 don't make it forward is just insane.
But we can understand why, right? Like there's a lot going on for the G2 team on a personal level outside of the game.
Of course.
And that also has to be taken into consideration with it. And full respect has to be given to Davidp the whole way around that is even playing at this tournament. And ardiis will get the opening kill here. He's got aggressive. Can't get any further information. The shadow wall from his teammate's going to help him actually get around here. Oh, he sprays a little bit too early. The first shots didn't hit for Tino. He's able to get it done. And now they've got the numbers back in their favor. This is the thing. G2 got the opening kill. They want to try and swarm and take some advantage here. Vodafone Giants were just in such defensive positions that it wasn't really a problem for them. Revive onto Mixwell, though. That changes things up slightly. Push is coming in. The B site's going to be secured. Mixwell heard what's going on, but now he needs the backup of his teammates.
Davidp's doing the work. He's managed to get that kill. Yuri's dropped off the wall as well, so things can definitely swing back over into their favor. Yurii tagged on the crossover. Luckily, very little damage. His heal's going to be up in 10 seconds. They've got to hold on to this. The man advantage is firmly with G2. They just need to push together and make sure they're getting the trades, and this should easily go their way. The shots from Yurii landing in for 1 at least, but he's all alone and not going to be surviving. Davidp with a 3rd kill and putting it 12-9. They're not out of it yet.
G2 fighting for their lives, fighting to try and make an overtime happen here. They cannot afford to make any mistakes. Giants on the edge of taking the map. And look how many ults are up for Giants. It's only the Sova that's not in play. There's none on the side of G2 because they've just not been finding the kills.
Need a drop. Thanks.
We come into the final seconds of the buying time. You see both teams have got their buy with pyth, this time taking the judge, which is unusual. And I do wonder, with 3 rounds in between them, Vodafone Giants have got 4 ultimates. How do you expend these? Do you just dive all in? You put all your chips on the table for this? Or are you going to just slowly try and eat away at G2? Remember, they've no ultimates in play right now on the defensive side. Good tag to paTiTek. But again, has his ult up. He can make up for the stinger in his hands. But it looks like they're going to commit to the low buy.
With what you were saying, right, I wouldn't say spend all the ultimates just yet because they're really in a good position anyway. Save your ultimates when you've got the gun rounds and when you actually could be in a situation where you can try and bounce your way back into it, you know?
Yeah. The only downside about that is then you allow G2 to build up their ults to kind of counter yours as well, right? To fight back against them.
Oh, Yurii trying to play off the side of it. It's not going to work out. paTiTek pops his ult, though, and that's really nice. This could be the round. This could be the time for them to get it done off a buy that was not exactly perfect. They still had some weapons in the revives, and they're going to seal it. They're going to make sure, by getting that revive in, that they're going to be trying to take this 13-9. Giants looking to upset G2 here in a big way. And the best Spanish player on the server, again, is not going to be Mixwell. The Giants team are out in full force. jonba is even spamming the spot. They're that confident with it all. This was G2's pick, and Giants, they've come to play. They've climbed that beanstalk. And they've looked to overthrow the Kings. paTiTek goes down, only one more player to find. Yurii gets the last kill, and that's Giants taking map 1, 13-9.
That is insane.